All right, welcome back to the Brain Box. Today we are talking about if you've ever ordered a pizza before, then you can book a notary appointment. The simplicity that's involved with ordering from Domino's, Pizza Hut, or your favorite local joint is the same exact process, maybe even easier with booking notary clients. So today we're going to go over a few similarities between the two and hopefully make this process much more comfortable and give you some more confidence so that when you book appointments or at least when you're taking the phone calls, although you might be unfamiliar with the situation, the document types, all these question marks that are surrounding getting appointments, really what you think about is it's just someone ordering from a menu. That's all it is. No different than if you went to Starbucks or if you went to any other coffee shop or pizza place in this case, and then you're just picking the menu, picking the toppings, the add-ons. What do you want? When do you want it? How could do you want it delivered? Do you want to come pick it up? And you know, how quickly do you want it? So how soon do you want it? It's a lot of similarities, and I liken it to ordering a pizza, and that's something that we've all done before. All right, and then at the end, we'll talk about some role playing so that you can be a little more comfortable with booking appointments and at least taking phone calls. Now, obviously, we'll show some examples. So let's get into it. So the pizza ordering experience reveals surprising insights into notary business strategies. Understand how pizza shops manage customer expectations, optimize the processes, and they use technology. Boost the customer satisfaction, your notary customer satisfaction, and streamline your entire notary business with the upcoming tasty lessons. Hope you guys like that. So a little bit about me. My name is Etikama Jeremiah Maku. I am the owner of the Golden Stamp Notary and also the creator of the Notary on Automation course for Notary Public entrepreneurs. I am not just any old person. Matter of fact, I've had a lot of success and I've also had a lot of failures. I've done a ton of things right and I've done a ton of things wrong. All right. So just to let you know a little bit about myself, I am a product of the Notary Business School that is owned by none other than Andre C. Hatchett, who is widely considered as the godfather of mobile notary business. I learned at his feet. I actually learned from him personally. And a lot of the principles that I believe in today are carryovers from the Notary Business School. I was very intentional about going to the Notary Business School because when I got fired from my job, and I would consider that a dream job, I got fired from it. It didn't have to do with anything performance related. It was all personal, and I'll save that for another time. But I went to the Notary Business School because I was intentional about having a business. And that's the reason why I actually ended up there. And I'm happy I did. So I didn't want another job. I wanted a business, and that was the right place to go. From there, I went to the Notary Cash Flow Academy, which is owned by none other than Tiger Toledo. He's a marketing guru. And from the Notary Business School, I took the lessons I learned and um, strategically implemented those with the lessons from Notary Cash Flow Academy. And that taught me how to boost and exponentially grow what I had learned from the Notary Business School, which was basically how to conduct notary appointments and yourself and how to manage the business. From then, I did the marketing, and then I created my own academy called the Golden Stamp Notary, which just teaches you not about documents, not about how to run appointments, not about marketing. It teaches you only how to automate, how to inject technology into this old and outdated industry. And then from there, I created a book called Thumbs Up for Notaries, which helps you with paid advertising. So that's a little bit about myself, a little bit about my background. And I'm a California commissioned notary public, and I've been doing it for over 5 years. All right, so before we get started, I like to talk about the four types of income. There's four types. There's employee type, self-employed, business, and then there's investor. That coincides directly with the notary public industry. An employee is a signing agent. A self-employed notary is a notary public. If you look on the right quadrant, the business owner is the same thing. Business owner, that's easy. and an investor is likened to a notary entrepreneur. There's active types of income, which means that you are involved, right? That means that you are clocking in and then you're clocking out. If you don't show up, you don't get paid. When you do show up, you do get paid, right? Hopefully, and on time. But there's also side hustle income, which means that you do it part-time or you do it here and there. Not really systems involved, but you also may work with title companies, you work with signing agencies, things like that. So the assignments or the notary assignments don't necessarily are not generated on your own by yourself. There's also passive income. That's my favorite kind, which is the likened to the business owner. And then there's investment income, which has nothing to do with notary. Not necessarily. Doesn't always have to be. It can be related to merchandise, related to teaching, instruction, book publishing, speaking, things like that. All right. So those are the four types of income. It's important that we review that. So let's talk about how the pizza ordering industry is related to the notary public industry and what you can take away. Some things that notaries really complain about is when people call, they don't know what to charge. Think about that for a second. You ever call Home Depot? Have you ever called Starbucks? And then you ask them, hey, how much is a water hose? And can you imagine for a second if you were to ask that question and then they didn't know the answer? Think about that. You call Starbucks and you ask them how much is a venti macchiato, caramel macchiato, and then question marks, right? They didn't know how to answer. So it's important that when notaries think about when people are calling them for their services, and then the customer eventually, it's just a matter of time. They're going to ask you how much. Well, got to let them know, because if you don't tell them what to charge, then they tell you what to charge. And that's never a position you want to be in, especially as a business owner. You'll be out of business very quickly, and you won't be around for very long. So let's talk about menu clarity. When pizza, here are some of the facts or some of the components of a well-oiled machine when it comes to pizza ordering shops, Domino's, pizza, whatever you have, some of the major chains. Usually it's simple, it's easy to follow, and there are clear options. There is a process that involves the toppings, maybe the size of the pizza, or some special offer that they have going on. Very simple, very straightforward. You can do it either online or you can do it on your phone, or you can call, either one, right? But very straightforward, very simple, and easy to follow. And it's clear. There's no confusion. It's usually very fast. Now, the similarities with Notary Public, haha. What are the similarities? Well, you have to have clear understanding of the services that you offer, right? There's got to be a process involved. And then also our favorite word, the cost. How much does it cost? The information is concise for smooth decision-making. Notaries have the big problem of just talking too much, just saying too much information, just giving away so much information that's not related to why they called you, why the customer called you. Customers call for one reason only, and that is to find out what time can you get here. They didn't call to learn about some notary law, some obscure statute or section of the code of the article section 2.3. That's not the reason why they call, or why they need a witness for a power of attorney, or why a birth certificate from Florida can't be notarized in California and then sent to the Dominican Republic. Those are not the reasons why people call you. So you can easily talk too much. You want to give concise information so that the client on the other end, they can make a decision right there, and preferably within 120 seconds. All right, very quick, very fast. All right, so let's talk about the ordering process, seamless ordering and payment options. All right, first we'll talk about how your favorite pizza company does it. Well, number one, there's a seamless order process with minimal friction points. Why did you call a pizza place? Well, to order pizza, presumably. You didn't call for donuts. You didn't call for bed sheets. You didn't call for curtains. You called to order pizza. So there is no back and forth interrogation as to why this person is on the phone with you. They know, and then you hopefully know as well. Very straightforward, very simple. And then the process is seamless. That means that if they want, drinks, and then they want these other side options, they can just ask for it, or you can offer it to them. Same thing with the notary appointments. The ease of the process has to be straightforward. This is oftentimes where notaries really fail. And it's difficult when an old, outdated, traditional industry such as notary, which has been around, since writing has existed, people are keeping records of things, it's been around forever, and authenticating what's written down. But that as long as it's been around, it can still be confusing for a lot of notaries. The process should be straightforward, it should be easy to schedule, and there should be minimal prerequisites. Prerequisites meaning identification. Do you have it? Yes or no? Is it valid? Yes or no? Is it from America? Is it US? Is it from Guatemala? Is it from Canada? Yes or no? These are very minimal prerequisites, and then we can meet you. As long as the person is willing to meet you face to face, in person, then those are really the only prerequisites. All right. And then also the time. That's important as well. All right. So the ease of the process. All right. Combo deals. This is one of my favorites. When you go to the pizza shop, when you go to order your favorite pizza, well, this is your lucky day because you got discounts, you got a combo deals, you got additional items, and like free deliveries or a drink. So pizza companies, they can, they're known for having subs, chocolate, cookies, things like that. Or you can get wings, and you can also get salad. There's all these other combinations and add-ons, and that is really what gives a person a one-stop shop feel. All right. These are known as offer intensifiers, or they're also known as upsells, or they can be known as cross sales as well. And then there's also downsells, but we're not going to talk about downsells necessarily. The downsells are very strategic when it comes to booking appointments, or if you have difficulty. All right, but that's a piece of ordering process. Now for notaries, same thing, same concept, right? Just slightly different, a little bit different. The value-added services like mobile notary options, flexible scheduling, and satisfaction guaranteed. Now, this is important. This is very important because not every notary is a mobile notary. Some notaries, they do have physical locations. As a matter of fact, you might have even heard a client ask you, is it cheaper if I come to you? Is it cheaper if I walk in? Where are you located? I'm outside the building. Where's your office number? Right? That's because the traditional way of doing notary is in person, and people they go to a physical office or location. But then you say, hey, we are actually a mobile service. Did you know that? We can actually come to you. What city do you live in? Right? Or your home, your office, your favorite coffee shop. We actually have a mobile option. People are sometimes surprised. A lot of people don't know that mobile notaries even exist. You believe that? They don't know, they've never heard of a service where, even today, where a lot of things are mobile, especially during the pandemic, that a lot of services became in-home services. Mobile notary is no different. Flexible scheduling, which is one of my favorite aspects. But I added flexible scheduling because I'm going to take a little bit of credit for this. I brought a lot of the ideas around flexible scheduling into the notary industry. Very interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take some credit for that. I really, really popularized or made it very well known about the whole idea of flexible scheduling and your ability to book even more appointments.
Kudos to you, sir.
the Just a little brief history here. Thank you, by the way. Notaries, for the most part, are involved with home sale transactions, mortgages, real estate related transactions. Majority of them are, and the the appointments were dictated by signing agencies or title companies that would assign notaries to go in out to your home and then witness you signing documents. Well, the problem is, what if somebody changes their mind? Think about this. Think about how often you change your mind. I mean, think about the topic we're talking about here, pizza. You thought you wanted pepperoni, but now you want combination. It's perfectly okay. You can change your mind. That's okay. But that shouldn't stop you from being able to help this person. So the flexible scheduling, I put that into the hands of the client. Instead of me asking them multiple, are you available at 2 o'clock, 4:30, or 5:30? Well, I'll just give you everything that's available, give you all the options, and then you decide. And if something comes up, then no problem. You can just always reschedule it, no problem. The satisfaction guarantee is what we call the risk reversal, which is a very important, which is something you see all the time. You may see this in commercials and see this in other parts of your life where people say satisfaction guarantee or your money back, 100% or your money back. Though that's what's called a risk reversal. Okay. In other words, you lose nothing if this doesn't go as you expected. It gives you more confidence to go ahead and swipe your credit card or to pay that fee or that rate, knowing that if something were not to go the way you expected, you can always get your money back. Now, luckily for notary, it's very straightforward. It's usually just involves a signature, but sometimes just that extra added little bit of a bump helps the client to, again, think about this. You've never met this person before. They called you out of the blue. They're on the phone. You've never seen them, they've never seen you before. And then they are supposed to give you their credit card number over the phone for hundreds of dollars. And they're supposed to have confidence in you.
Mhm.
It's pretty amazing. But you give them that satisfaction guarantee, 100% money back. If something goes wrong, if the document gets rejected, if you send it to the family court law and then they reject it, we'll come back out and we'll re-sign it. Right? That's the way you, and that's the way that whole concept, just like pizza, something happens to the pizza, you can get your money back. We can apply the same concept to our business here.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
It's kind of an offshoot, but it's back on the flexible scheduling. Do you prefer or are you more comfortable with a neutral place or someone's home?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm going to be 100% honest and transparent here. I know this may not seem like it, but I mean this. If you can stay out of somebody's house, I would stay out of somebody's house. I
Well, that's
would,
the way I feel,
yeah.
actually. I feel the same way. I was wondering.
If you don't have to go inside their house, don't go.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, for men, it's a little bit different than for women. And let's just be real. Let's just be real. It is. If you are in a situation where something just seems suspect, then trust your gut. I always say that. Trust your gut. Go with what your instincts are telling you.
Okay. Yeah, it's just the flexible scheduling just made me think of that. And well, since I'm on it, do you try to guide them toward a neutral location?
I'd
Is
say,
there
yeah, I tell the client I say we are on your schedule.
okay, you don't so you're giving them the time option, but you don't try to encourage a location one way or the other. You just prefer a neutral location.
Yeah, I don't think about the location as much as the time. But I mean, maybe I should, maybe I should because oftentimes, especially now, I don't do a lot of these appointments. It's me facilitating the traffic and telling other notaries where to go. Matter of fact, I have a deal going through right now. Now here's the thing though. I'll ask you this. Are you surprised that most people who are doing notary, they're probably doing something, that's probably okay, right? It's not they're just trying to take care of some business. Does that make sense? all they're doing is they're just trying to get a transaction that they're not necessarily doing anything that could be illegal or fishy, right? They're just trying to get a transaction taking place.
You're talking about the client or the notary?
The client,
Yeah. Well, I guess I asked that mainly if things do kind of go astray somehow. You told me this over the phone, or I didn't expect this when I got here. If you're in a public place or a neutral place, you can gracefully excuse yourself versus being at their house. You know, and like I said, we don't have to get deep into it. I was just curious because my inclination would also be neutral ground. And I just wondered if that was just me.
yeah. Until you come across somebody who's bedridden, somebody who can't
Yeah,
actually move, then those are the exceptions. But I think
yeah.
that most people, well, here's the thing: when you use the automation and you have the flexible scheduling, a lot of those technological advances, the client they have the choice. They can decide whether they want to put the local Thai restaurant or they want to put the public library. Some people put the post office, or I'll say, oh wait a second, this is the post office location, right? So they're free to put whatever location they want.
Okay.
Most people
Yeah,
put
so I
their
guess usually they're going to be the ones that determine whether they want it neutral or
yeah,
not. So, okay.
yes. Now there's an advantage to people who are willing to go inside people's houses because I think again, if you ever kind of feel like there's something going on, just always keep in the back of your mind. Most people, 99%, like the majority of people, they're just trying to get some business taken care of.
Mhm.
So you really don't have anything to worry about. I'm very comfortable in sending like I have a lot of women on my notary squad, and there's some like there's a deal it's happening in the hills. Not to say that the hills is a safe place, right? Like
Mhm.
nothing doesn't happen there, right? Stuff happens here as well, but it's just somebody trying to open up a bank account in another country. So it's probably going to be 5 minutes, 10 minutes max, and then they'll be out. You know, let's hope so. But I think 99% of the time it's fine. It's fine.
Right.
I
Okay.
think about that though with the women. All right, next stock limitation. All right, we're low on stock. All right, or flash sales. These are the type of uh, tools and techniques that a lot of pizza companies that we can adopt as notary business owners from ordering pizza. So think about the last time you ordered pizza. Um, Limited time offers, or they have or specials create urgency. So we're talking about urgency and scarcity. We have one more section after this, but I like this one because in addition to the flexible scheduling, urgency and scarcity. Think about that for a second. Make a decision now, right? You've probably been thinking about this for the last 2 weeks. This has probably been something that your husband or your wife told you to get done, a month ago. But this is something that the court has ordered you to take care of, 2 years ago. I've seen situations where people will just sit and take their time. And then at the last minute, very last opportunity, they'll go and do something about it. A lot of us are guilty of being procrastinators, and that's something that I personally have to overcome. But urgency and scarcity, when you're on the phone with someone, especially in this case when they're ordering pizza, you say, give, and again, this is just marketing talk, right? This is, as business owners, we create the rules, we make up the rules. So, but this is a marketing technique. Maybe perhaps next time you do this or you hear it, you'll recognize it. But people say limited time offer. You have until 7 p.m. tonight, or you have until this holiday weekend, or the deal's over, right? That's just someone encouraging you to act on it. Special offers, can you do it right? Before this coupon expires. Oh, those are what those are just urgency and scarcity tactics, and they're very effective. Do not underestimate how effective a lot of this marketing strategy plays on our emotions and our human psyche. All right.
Well, we just finished 2 days of Amazon Prime Day. So,
Great, excellent example, outstanding example. Did you buy anything?
I bought stuff, but it wasn't really prime savings related. It's stuff that I was going to get anyway. So I'm not one of those. You know, I shop when I need it. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I
If I
bought a
needed it
new
yesterday,
faucet.
huh?
I bought a new faucet.
Okay, because you needed it, right? Not because it was on sale.
Well, yeah, yeah, I did. My wife needed it, and I think I needed it too. So it's time. It's time to get a new faucet. Yeah, why not? And then you got a
Yeah,
good deal. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's how I shop. I shop that way and I eat that way. I eat because I need to live. So, hey.
Yeah, I like that example. That's a great example. Yeah, it's like a damn near holiday now. All right, but the same thing with
Hmm.
the notary. This is again one of my favorite tactics when it comes to helping. And again, this think about this. Some people will probably make the case that, oh, that's unethical, or why would you do that? But before you take that position, consider this. Did you call them or did they call you? Okay. You were minding your business. You were just doing what you were doing every day. Someone called you and asked you if you can come to their house and help them. Okay. They actually want this. And sometimes people have a hard time getting off the fence. And these are just very effective strategies that to help the person get off the fence. And it's for their own benefit. Okay. The court has been looking for you for the last 2 months. You've got to do this. If you're looking for the cheapest price, then you know that could take weeks, that could take days of research. But if you want this done now, then I'm here to help you. I'm right in front of you. So the way that we work with that in the um, notary segment is we highlight limited availability. So this goes with flexible scheduling, and there's special rates to book promptly, meaning, well, if it's booked after 5 o'clock, then you can save about $2. But FedEx doesn't. The cutoff time is actually at 3:45. So my recommendation is to book the appointment now. And if something changes, you can always, like we said, you can always change your mind. But at the very least, I would secure that appointment slot because we have limited availability. Our appointments book up. Our schedule change. People have needs. So that's encouraging people to take action. And it works. Trust me, it's very, very effective. And next time it's used on you, then you'll know, you'll recognize it. Next, time sensitive situations. This is one of my favorite. Um, Urgency for hospice care amendments to revocable trust, uh, with extra fees for immediate service due to importance. Last week, I had three separate appointments that involved people who were on their deathbed. And when I say people who are on their deathbeds, I literally kid you not. When I walked into the room and I met with the person who was signing, not only were they weak, but their voices were low. Their appearance, their skin, they were not in good shape. When the person who booked the appointment, it wasn't them, right? It was always a family member or a son or a relative or a neighbor. In one case, to the neighbor. When they booked the appointments, they didn't explain the extent to, or at least one person did. They explained how serious it was and how this person, could die. There was an appointment. There's a power of attorney that I did about 2 years ago. I'll never forget this. It was for a family that lived near Highland Hospital, which is in Oakland. It's a trauma center. It's like a level 1 trauma center in Oakland. The family lived near this location. This is the reason why it's important. When the daughter booked the appointment for a power of attorney, I showed up to the appointment was at 11:15. I showed up to the person's house at 11:15. I knocked on the door, no one answered. And then I knocked again and I stayed there for a little bit and no one answered again. So I finally called the daughter. The daughter answered the phone and she said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should have canceled the appointment. I should have rescheduled it. We actually had to take my mother in to the emergency room." The power of attorney that they were getting ready signed wasn't executed. Who knows what didn't happen as a result of that power of attorney not being executed? I can't even tell you.
Right.
I don't even want to think about if that person had acted just a little bit sooner, if they didn't drag their feet, didn't take their time, what could have, I mean, we're talking about houses here, okay? We're talking about bank accounts, retirement accounts, we're talking about property, we're talking about healthcare decisions, things like that. And once a person becomes incapacitated, they can't make decisions on their own. Then it becomes very, very difficult for courts to recognize whether or not documents are official. So there was a time where I would really hard sell appointments, and I would tell the person over the phone that client could die tomorrow. I've used that line before. I've told people, well, your brother could die tomorrow, and I don't apologize for using that, for saying that, and the reason why is because people have died the next day. I've seen it. And when something is as important as their trust being updated or amended, and that's why you see hospice care amendment, because this is what happened last week. I had 3 appointments where 3 different patients were literally lying on their deathbed in their homes, and their families are scrambling, and they're trying to get something taken care of. And then, this last one was very, very emotional because the woman who was under care, she had handwritten these letters and it wasn't very legible, but you could make it out. And I took my phone, I recorded her signing, and I have some healthcare background. So, this is a little bit easier for me than maybe for some other people, but I'm very comfortable with in these situations. But I also know that in the highly unlikely event this gets contested, I've got the recording here. And I ask people, notaries oftentimes have the burden of trying to understand somebody's level of cognitive ability, and that's not fair for a lot of people to try to determine if this person's in their right mind. I don't think that's notary didn't go to law school or medical school, so why would they know that? But here's an easy way to do that. This is what I did in this case. I say, her name was, let's just call her Joanne. I say, hey, Joanne, do you know who this person is? And I'll wait for a response. And I'll wait. I'll say, hey, Joanne, do you know who this person is? I'll point to the person in the room and I'll point to every single person in the room. Do you know who they are? And then I'll also kind of prompt them and lead them, but I'll say, um, do you know why hey, my name is Barack Obama, right? I'll joke around, say that. And then I'll say, do you know why I'm here? And that's a yes or no answer, especially in that state when they may not be able to articulate and verbalize what's happening going on. But that's how I check for understanding. Do you know who this person is? You're like, yes, I do. I'll say, okay. Do you know why I'm here? And I've had people say, no, I don't know why you're here. And then at that point, if they say no, then I'll go ahead and dig a little bit deeper, and I'll say, okay, these are your loved ones here, or these are your relatives or this is your daughter who called me, right? And this document, have you seen this document before? I won't say, are you going to sign this power of attorney? I'll point it up. I'll say, have you seen this document before? Do you want to sign this document today? And these are yes or no questions. If they say yes, then that's a good sign. But in this last these last 3 situations, urgency was of the utmost importance. I kid you not, man. Those people, they could have died any day. It did not look good for them. All right. But urgency and scarcity are very, very powerful. Very powerful. If you have trouble with booking appointments, it's something that all companies do. Pizza companies do it, notaries do it as well. So this is very, very effective.
Yes, it's good analogies.
Yeah, true stories, man. And there's many more of those coming from. You will come across this all the time because again, you think about the nature of notary. What are they trying to do? They're probably just doing something that's very, very important. All right. And people like to wait until the last minute too. All right. Lastly, friendly service. I think this is the last one. So this is very important. Now, I say this for this is not my favorite one, but I say this for last because it's probably the most important one. You can overcome a lot of the issues if you're just friendly. Okay. You can overcome so many hurdles when it comes to pricing, people who are upset, people who are not satisfied, if you are just friendly. It's amazing how pizza companies, if if there's a pleasant interaction with the order taker and there's a timely delivery, that can solve a lot of problems. Right? They don't care about the price. They don't care about all they care about is, is the person listening? Did they understand what I was ordering? Did they forget the barbecue sauce? All these problems come from or how about this is even better, whether or not they'll return to your business.
Right.
Because if they come back, then that means that they had a pleasant experience. It doesn't matter how great your barbecue wings are. If the order experience wasn't great, they're not coming back. They're not coming back. Think about how many times you've had maybe some great food, but the experience just was okay. Versus somebody who you probably put up with a little bit. You'll put up with some maybe subpar food, not as good, but it's always a great experience. They're always friendly. Same thing with the notary. Friendly, professional demeanor, efficient service, customer satisfaction, repeat business. I have a cheat code for you. When the phone rings, when I hear it ringing, I look, I think to myself, somebody wants to give me money. Somebody wants to pay me some money. So I instantly have a smile on my face. And I answer the phone. This is something that I've been doing lately. I answer the phone and I'm laughing. I just did it about an hour ago. Somebody was calling. It was a Florida area code. And I'm thinking, well, let's see who it is. And and I'm laughing. I put a big smile on my face and I said, it's a great day at Oakland Notary. And I'm like laughing. And then you can hear on the other side, you can hear they're like, oh, oh, okay. Well, I just have a couple of questions. They have a couple of questions about some temporary guardianship forms. The document types don't matter. Don't matter. What matters is when can you get here? Oh, I just have a question for some temporary guardianship forms. Oh, I just have a question for a power of attorney. Oh, I just have a question for a birth certificate. I have a question for a driver's license application. The document, it don't matter. I have a question for some temporary proof of life forms that my Vanguard, company out in Switzerland, my bank account that sends me annuity payments, they need to update it. I just have a question. People call you about all kinds of different stuff. Don't even matter. Don't even care. Doesn't matter. What matters is what time can you get there? Oh yeah, we can. Yeah, thank you for calling. We can help you with that. I have a couple of questions for you. All right, where do you live? San Jose, great. And then what type of identification do you have? Passport, ID, or driver's license? Oh, I have a senior ID. Okay, great. Not expired, is it? Nope. I had it renewed last year. All right, great. Well, here's the next step. I'm gonna send you a confirmation link. Go ahead, book the appointment, book the time that worked for you. 3:30 is the earliest. We see appointments as late as 8 p.m. Call us if you have any questions or you need assistance. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your evening, right? Boom, book the appointment, $197 for one signature. That's how it's done. Just like that, because it's not about the price. And if it is, and they ask you, well, how much does it cost? And that's the question that we're going to talk about next. How much does it cost? That's the question where people get caught up on. All right. So this is a secret recipe, you guys. That's the secret recipe. You see it everywhere. You see it in your daily activities. It's just that you got to be aware of it. Pizza companies. I'm not eating pizza, by the way. Is anybody hungry? All of a sudden, you're gonna have a pizza for dinner tonight? I'm not. I'm gonna have Thai food. But by integrating these recipes, I love Thai food. You can create a compelling and an irresistible offer that simplifies the decision-making process for your clients. similar to how a well-structured pizza ordering system works. So there's a lot we can take away from just our normal daily interactions with how we spend money and how we involve ourselves with just food ordering services. This analogy, this example can be used with other industries. I like pizza because it's something that everyone can relate to, and also it's quick, very fast. Just like notary, it should be very fast. It shouldn't take very long. So, however you want to integrate this technology or these strategies into your business, I recommend I recommend knowing at the very beginning what is our objective, and our objective with notary is always what time you can get here. What That's really the question that people are asking. What time can you get here? Can you get here now? Urgency. Well, yeah, we can get here now, but you got to book it right now because we only have two notaries on staff right now. It's scarcity, limited time availability. And then what about the risk reversal, right? You can get a 100% money back guarantee if something were to happen. Or if you change your mind, you want to cancel the appointment, you can always hit cancel. We can give your money back. But nothing's moving unless you make that deposit first, because and I say deposit, I don't mean like partial payment. I'm talking about you pay for the service in full. Just like you order pizza, you don't pay for half of the pizza and then the other half when it arrives. You pay for the whole thing and then you get the pizza later. Okay, you pay for it in advance. You don't start making it and cooking it before you paid for it. No, it's not how it works. All right. So these are some very uh, uh, to me very effective strategies, and this is stuff that I use on a daily basis, and it's something that I really highly encourage that notaries start using. So if you want to learn more about this notary on automation course, like I mentioned earlier in the beginning, then go to mygoldenstampnotary.com. You can learn about how to inject technology into your day-to-day notary operation. It's perfect for people who are one man, one woman operations. If you're a one person notary show and you find yourself struggling trying to keep up with the day-to-day tasks, and it's very simple, very easy to offload a lot of that work. And I walk you through step by step on how to remove yourself from the day-to-day business. Okay, so you can learn more about that at mygoldenstampnotary.com. So that's the Brain Box for today. Thank you guys for your attention. As always, if you are a member of the Brain Box, we do this every week, every Thursday, and you can also watch the replay. If you're watching this on replay, you can obviously watch the replay in the master class. Click on the link in your notary modules, and you can always get a one-on-one session with myself or someone from the team, and then they can help you with the steps to implementing some of those strategies. All right. Thank you guys for your attention. And let's do some role playing if anybody's up for it. I know you guys are.